Welcome back to Python of Snake. For this episode, we go look into that our def what we used the last time. This time we go look as we fit take use and do other things. Everything we go use today, we go do today, we don't learn them before. Now to just bring everything together and take form something we say we fit create. For example, we dey look into that def what we do. We talk say okay, if you use def take create our own we talk say we fit use and create our own functions. So for example, if we talk say this def just means say we dey define the function, and if we define function finish, we wan use the function. To use the function, we will call the function, just like the way we don do for our last class. So for example, say e just be like as we take dey create variable wey we go talk say, for example now maybe we talk say akpos equals or anything wey we say na variable name, say equals something, and we come print the thing come outside, just the way we don do am before. Na so this def take dey create this function. So this def now we wan use am create maybe another greeting function, maybe na alpha we wan name this our function. So na new function be this, and we dey name am alpha. So the last time we just do this one, we just put this bracket and the function run when we call am. But this time around, I wan make sure say we talk other things wey the functions go do. So na there we go go into wetin parameter be. We fit pass parameter inside this our alpha function wey we don build. For example now, you know say if we wan print, we wan use print, we go use print, then we go put wetin we wan print inside the bracket. And the same thing, if we don do am like this, e mean say we leave am like this, we mean say e no dey collect any parameter, e no dey collect anything inside. But if we put, for example now, say we put name inside this bracket, e mean say anytime wey we call our alpha, we need to use one parameter. Parameter just mean say we dey measure land give the function say no do pass like this, and no do pass from here go reach here. Na wetin be parameter be that. E just be like say parameter fence. We dey give am where e no go fit do pass. Na im be the parameter. So we fit give am parameter like this, or we for the last time we leave am, we no give am any parameter. So for this parameter now, we fit just say okay, anytime wey we call this function, wetin we want make e do for us na to print, maybe if you use double quote or single quote. Me I dey like use double quote. We fit just say we fit say make e print alpha, and alpha you dey, maybe how you dey, or just say alpha how you dey. Then if you come talk say make e add the name wey we put as parameter. So make we just say plus name. So na wetin e wan do for us be that. So now if you look am say okay, how this one go take work, right? If we call, of course, another thing wey we need to understand na that calling. See, anytime wey we call our alpha now, say we wan call alpha, no forget say alpha na with capital letter. Normally, if we call alpha like this, we need to pass in the parameter. If we leave am like this, e go ask us for this name. If you say don burst out, say you need to put any name. And for example now, e go collect maybe we need to put name in. Of course, we need to use our string to put the name. Say okay, akpos. So if we call this thing now, now it will come work for us. We just quickly run this, we'll see wetin go happen. So the result na alpha, how you dey akpos. So now this one different from the last one. The last one we define function, we no give am this fencing, this parameter we will talk about. And another thing we need to talk about na the calling. This thing now, we dey call the function. Anytime we call the function, we dey send am go back this up. Say okay, go meet this def function we create. We dey call am come, make we use am. So anytime for inside our code, as long as say we don define this alpha, anytime maybe we don write like 100 lines of code, by the time wey you call alpha anytime for inside your code, e go print this thing come outside, and e go ask us, of course, we need to put parameter because we define am with parameter for here, or we create am with parameter. Una welcome back to Python of Snake. For this class, we go quickly check the same def wey we dey use wey we take dey create functions since. So this time around, we go check def, we go use am join random wey be randit wey we don do before, and we go still learn some other things like return. So make we just quickly enter wetin carry us come. Normally, of course, say we go use random to create maybe numbers from 1 to 10. Then we go say, okay, we wan create our function. Make we just start. The first thing, because we will use this library wey be random for this our class, make we first import that library first. Then of course, if we wan create our function, we need to use this def take create am. So the name of our function will be, mostly use greet the same way we dey use am before. And normally we don create function wey name na greet like this, but like we talk for the last class, we wan pass parameter, and I just explain say parameter na just, e be like fencing, say wey you this function no go pass this fence wey we give you, this parameter wey we don give you no go pass am. So the function go collect this parameter wey be position. So wetin this function go do for us? We don talk say the name na greet, the parameter na position. So wetin we wan do for us na say, okay, if the position, we say, okay, maybe for class, the person position na 1, if na the same thing as number 1, say the person carry number 1. So wetin make e do? Make e return. This return na be like say na new function we dey learn for this our class. But wetin e mean be say, instead of to dey use print, we go use return. Return na wetin dey bring back result for inside the function. So we go say make e return greeting wey be odogwu number 1, say based on say the person na him carry first for the class. This greeting na odogwu number 1 is too much. So of course another person go carry second and the rest. So we'll say elif, that means say it should not be first. If na second, elif position na second. Wetin make it happen? Wetin go happen be say e go return maybe chairman, too much, you try, or something. Chairman, you too much, you try. Just dey try tell person. We'll say if the person carry position number 3, but you don't understand the whole idea, so we just fit copy and paste, and to make our this thing dey very nice, our code dey nice. So the person carry, for example, the person he carry third, we still fit hail am say, maybe you return, you too much, you try. So we fit just copy and paste, or we fit just say if person carry from maybe from 5th go up, maybe, and that thing go tell am. We just put well done for this one. Then we go say over, well done. You try. If you carry the person, maybe person carry 4th. Maybe then if you just say if the person carry any position wey don pass 5, you just tell am say make dem try add am next time. You try, but try harder or something. Good, but try harder. Try harder, abeg. Person fit do more. Say make e. So no be say equal to 5. We'll just say the person get anything wey pass 5, right? So we don't declare wetin wan happen if this position na 1, if na 2. So instead of to dey call position 1, 2, 3 like that, normally if you call the position, for example, maybe you wan call the function, say you call the function greet. And normally if you call function like this, e no go bring, normally we need to of course print that particular thing come outside before e go answer us. So we'll say call equals to greet, and we don't pass position number 1 give it. So we'll print call with capital letter. So I believe say this thing dey. If you no clear, abeg if you just ask question as we dey continue. So wetin we print come outside here na Odogwu number 1. Make I first clear this our console. We'll print am again. You say Odogwu number 1, you too much. If we put 2 for here and we run am, you will say Chioma, you too much. But wetin we wan do na to use this our random wey we bring come inside. So how we take use this our random? So make I just quickly say okay, so that at random the computer go pick any this thing for me. Say random equals or r equals the random. We don use random before, so we suppose understand as it dey work. So we use this random rand int, and we go pass of course na still parameter this we go pass parameter from 1 to 10. Say no do pass 1 to 10. And after that one, we just say okay, call, instead of say we dey if you can call the r now, say r now between 1 and 10. Normally we dey put the number by ourselves 1, right? And now we want to say make it call this thing for us. We'll say call equals greet r, because we need to call the function with r. Yeah. So normally if we print this call with small letter and this I'll command that one with capital letter. So if we print this call, for example, okay, we get, what's the problem? R randint error, random has no attribute rand int, no be rand it. Sorry, now the mistake with this. Always they read your error. You just tell me straight, say rand it no dey. So I don't know, say okay, typo, na rand int na it's supposed to be. So it don't give us may I just clear here so that we go fit the see wetin dey happen for this console well. So anytime we run the code, say good, but try add abeg. It means say random don't give us number from wey dey above 5. Mostly if your number dey equal to 5, it will give us none because we no set anything for 5. Now everything wey dey above 5 now we give. No, just continue. Chioma, you try, you try. Chioma, you too much, you try. Now you give us like this. See, well done, you try. It means say give us number 4 with that at random. Odogwu give us number 1, none. Now this none are defined because of course we no set for 5. More say equals to or greater than 5. No see wetin go happen. That none no go ever come outside again because we don't set parameter for 5. Equals or greater than 5. No say, oh sorry. So this none no go come out again because we don't set for all numbers between 1 and 10. So yeah, if you just practice this, if you make them longer than this, and the main thing we need to understand for here is say number 1, to create our function, we need to use def. So if you create function without this parameter, and if we use parameter, it means say once we want to call the function, we need to give them parameter as well. So another thing we will learn from here now, this return statement where they bring back something up from function. So to call function, we need to now this one you go back to the top, go call this whole function come outside, or this if elif you go bring now the call function, all these functions. So enter we just need all these functions we will type for here now to just call out with greet, and we will pass parameter. Thank you.